Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please abiding by the AFTERBIRTH plus 35 wins in a row. How about that? Can you believe it? Oh my god! Some of my colleagues have 800 win streaks. 6-2 AYKFLD. Great stats, with one possible exception. We don't know at the present moment our HP. Oh, but if I could just... My god, the man's a genius. It's just that simple. The man's a genius. We have navigated the... Okay, we didn't get a Spirit Heart, but that's still really good. We navigated... I guess we should take it. The champion who explodes over to the Tinted Rock. I'm just very wary of the fact that we may indeed have 1 HP. I don't think there's a good reason to use the D8 right now. I love our stats minus our speed, but that's, you know, something we can work on. I really don't want to screw up our other stats. That's like, our tiers and damage is so good. The play, and I do see the Tinted Rock there, the play is merely don't screw up. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And what we got going on right now is very, very not broke. We might as well try to pick this up. I can't imagine that it would work that way. I was trying to think about how, like, we could have an empty heart container, but... So, I don't know. It's kind of a tough decision here. Without having too much money or a bomb, we basically choose between fighting the boss and probably getting something useful, which is what we're going to do. But if it's a very dangerous boss and we have 1 HP, then times are tough. Luckily, that's not the case. Keep in mind, like, we might not have 1 HP. We might have 3 HP. I don't think you can have more than that unless you have an item as Eden that raises it. But, okay, now for now, I'm not as concerned anymore. I mean, I think you can have 0 HP and then just have a Spirit Heart. But, you know, for our purposes right now, that would be the same. So we're not set, but this is a really, really good start. Barring Curse of the Unknown revealing that we're close to death. Anyway, today is it's a good day so far. It is a Sunday. Sorry, I was compelled to say that it's Monday because it's the first work day, but it's not the first. Well, Monday is not my first work day. Not to flex. Yeah, I think we're just moving on here. I'm happy we were able to open a Tinted Rock in the process here. Yesterday was the day off. Didn't do that much. Watched the hockey game. Did some chores. You know, watch the finale of Haunting of Hill House. Yeah, that was about it. I cashed a check at the bank, and I had a nightmare moment. That was about it. So, like, went to the ATMs are not weird in Canada, but I think that my bank sucks. Like, I like the people that work at my bank, but in terms of, like, the infrastructure, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I should be keeping, you know, my life with you anymore. But anyway, I went to the first ATM to deposit a check. It said, deposit temporarily unavailable. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why that would be the case. Maybe that part of the ATM is broken. I moved to the middle ATM in a block of 3. I deposited the check. And it made a horrible, horrible, horrible noise. And then said, we were not able to read this document, please take it. And then it spit the document out. And I swear, when I tried to grab it, it tried to pull it back. It was like trying to pull me into the machine. Hold on, I'm already super lost. I'm like, oh, this is where I wanted to go. Thank you, brain. But I grabbed it, and it was a little tight, but I grabbed it against the pulling of the gears that were trying to suck the check back into the machine and shred it, I think. And then, wouldn't you know it? And I don't know why people do this, but I'm glad that he did in this case. The guy who had used the ATM just prior had left his receipt on the little, like, the desk that's at the ATM. You know what I mean. The thing where you could put, like, your documents or something while you're waiting. And on his receipt, I'm not afraid to admit, I peeped it. If he didn't want me to peep it, he should have not littered. And thus allowed me to, you know, be free of judging him. However, I looked at it and it said error could not deposit document something something something. And I was like, okay, so I see how this is. This ATM's a little busted. Then I went to the third ATM and it was fine. But I did have that moment where I was like, oh my god, like what do you do? Because nobody works at the bank on Saturdays and Sundays because of the... I mean, for two reasons. One is, I mean, some banks, obviously, they do, but mostly the reason is during Corona, they've really cut down on the number of, like, open locations and staff and stuff like that. But I'm like, what do you do if it eats your check, dude? You call, like, a number on the ATM or something and go, hey, your machine that's supposed to deposit money turned into a shredder? I don't know. I'm very pro ATM. I've established in the past. The thing is, most of the time, I get a check. And this is not a flex, but it's in American dollars because it's for like a sponsorship. And then, you know, we got to make sure that it drops in the right account. So it's very important. So then we go to the teller oftentimes in order to manifest that into being a reality. Let's go fight the boss here. It's not a flex. It's just the reality of the business, right? This one was a personal check, and I used the ATM, and it scared the crap out of me. Although I consider myself a rational person, I cannot lie. We are going to take this, but not Guppy's collar. I cannot lie. I was like, this thing's about to shred this check. I got a little nervous. This is a bit of a lark. Yeah, it didn't work out, but that's okay. I'm very happy with where we're at. We would like a renewable source of spirit hearts, even if that's just money and a good shop. Yeah, it's a metal straw. Deal with it. Anyway, that's essentially like my only anecdote. Come on, just pop up. We can't get hit once here. Getting hit once puts us in the danger of being in danger zone. So we don't want to get hit because, like, right now we're enjoying being in the danger of the danger of the danger of danger zone. And you might think that what happened with the true NL? You know, what happened to the old NL who used to let it ride? He's still in there. He's playing Fall Guys now. The new NL for Isaac recognizes the enjoyment that can be had. Hello. From something like the D4. But doesn't want to. He puts value on the streak. He doesn't want to throw it away just for the power of pressing the space bar once. You know, I don't fall victim to the seductive press of the space bar anymore. The space bar, I mean, is such a big button. You know, it has too much general appeal. You wanna really get me impressed? Talk about the curly brace, dude. I don't know if there's a key on the keyboard that feels better than the curly brace. And I'm calling it. I'm not afraid to admit that. So we do have great shop potential now. We have been to our item, right? That's right, it's the D4. So the thing is, what I will say is if we're not going to use either the D8 or the D4 for now, it might be more sensible to hold the D4. I thought we could kick it out. Just because of the fact that the D4... This is probably our secret room. The D4 is more likely to be useful in like a Hail Mary situation to totally save us. Sorry, I punched my microphone. I put my hand on my chin and I punched the microphone to breathe in. I think, believe it or not, I think we go bomb bag here. We've had a real shortage of bombs over the course of this run. I think that this might prove fairly useful. But then we're gonna get out of here. And you know, I'm gonna keep the D8. I apologize, I know we're playing a much more conservative game than usual. But my hope is that, you know, we bring the extra Banty. And you know, I mean, at some point, let me caffeinate before I give you this hot take. At some point, you gotta recognize the thing with the Zane. And I say this not only to people who are like, use the D4, even though you got a good situation. Because I understand that that's fun as well. Because I did it for 8 years and will probably do it again in the future. But, especially once new items get released in the game. So that we can get a little bit more variance. But I say this also to the people who are like, you know, why doesn't he fight Mega Save more? Why doesn't he fight Hush more? Like, variety is the spice of life. But, you know how they say, like, everything in moderation, including moderation? You know where we're at right now? I think we need some variety from variety. I think, you know, we've had so many years of zaniness that I hope that there's some people that are on the same boat right now that are like, ah, seeing you be zany has become samey. You know what would be really zany is if you put your all into trying to win as many runs as possible while also providing some entertainment simultaneously that doesn't rely on the game. Yeah, I can get down with that. It's a lot of pressure, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of pressure. Okay. Grab one of these. And get me out of there. What are we doing? We're getting a lot of bombs is what we're doing. This is what we asked for. I mean, buying a bomb for 5 cents, I sleep. Buying an item that allows you to get, like, tons of bombs for 15 cents, now we're talking. I'll level with you, dude. I think Flush is actually not that bad of an item. It's not a good endgame item, but I actually think that this, you know, contributes nicely to our quality of life. I got a question for you, okay? So I asked this on the NLSS. Oh, Joker. I asked this on the NLSS, and everyone was in agreement, and that it was kind of like the question was a little dumb, and I'll allow that. Honestly, sure, I'm gonna take it. Second secret room, very valuable. I'd like to get the regular map as well, but we'll see if that comes to pass. I was gonna ask, if you had the choice between running water and electricity, what would you rather have? Ignoring the fact that, you know, I require electricity in my home to do my job, you know, let's talk about it as if that were not the case. You know, from a creature comfort standpoint, we all agreed that running water is important, but electricity is a higher tier. I understand, I accept that. But I'm like, okay, I want to run down the list, and you tell me, what appliance would you give up to keep your toilet? And I'm not memeing, I'm not making a joke. So electricity, sure. What if I said in your house you can either have a refrigerator or a toilet, what would you choose? I'm telling you straight up, I'm choosing the toilet. I don't necessarily think that everybody would be on the same page, but I would rather only keep non-perishable foods, assuming I still had like a stove, you know. I would rather keep stuff like that. Wonder if this will reroll on 1. No. Or, you know, I guess order a lot of takeout, which I'll admit is a luxury. But I would rather do that than have to do my business in, like, an outhouse or, like, a bucket and then throw it outside. I would much rather have, I mean, this is... Would I rather have a computer or a toilet? I would rather have a computer. I wouldn't be happy about it, though. Honestly, it's a weird one, but I think we say no. Our HP is just not rich enough to say yes to that yet. I think a refrigerator is the most quote-unquote essential appliance I would give up. Like, would I give up my toaster for a toilet? Yeah. That's a pretty easy one. I don't know that what do you think the percentage, like, I want to hear your comment. Would you rather have a refrigerator than a toilet? At the end of it, I don't know how to explain it, but like, and if you're like, I'm eating, honestly, get over it. Like, we're not even talking about anything gross. I have used, you know, outdoor bathrooms a lot in my life. Music festivals, you know, Kate and I went camping a couple years ago. It's not the end of the world. Like, human beings for like 99.999% of our existence on planet Earth have not had, okay, nice bathrooms, right? But it's something, I think because I'm so used to running water, which, I mean, makes sense. That's one where I'm like, it's privilege, but I'm not going to apologize for it. But I'm so used to, like, running water. When I have a movement in, like, an outhouse or, you know, in an otherwise suboptimal condition, it kind of like, and you're going to laugh, but I think a lot of people are going to get it, too. It kind of puts a damper on the rest of my day. Just, like, I don't feel right. Oh, that's good. Well, we can save our Joker as a teleport card then. I really wanted to get a Spirit Heart. There we go. Like, we need to be able to buy some Spirit Hearts. Or get a lot more Red Hearts. And this is there's potentiality for that here. Okay, well, sure. Not thrilled with it, but it is what it is. We could use an early payout here. Alright. Krampus Joker. I don't know, man. I just like I just don't feel. Yeah, it's way better. I just don't feel right. If you know what I mean. I mean, I feel right now, but that's because I got to start my day off on the right foot. When I am in a situation that's a little bit different, you know, like when you're camping, that's like one of the #1 things where I'm like, man, I can't wait to get home so I can have like a nice, pleasant movement. I don't know what to say apart from that. It just, I hope I didn't gross you out too much. It is what it is. So we don't really need the Joker card if we have access to a better card now. Magician is not it. Emperor almost certainly is. We should have used the IV bag for the hit there, but it's okay. It's okay. And then we have a lot. I mean, this is a potentially pretty important floor because of this second secret room. We at least got the luck upgrade. We didn't get much money, though. Come on. Come on. You know you want to pay out with an HP upgrade. Like, with Ipecac, it's not as scary. But it is the kind of thing where you're like... If you would be so kind as to just give me, like, a little bit of extra HP, that it would go a long way. It would go a long way right now. I'm just embarrassed we didn't get them in one hit. So we get Caffeine Pill. I've done a really good job lately of not taking the dang pills. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to charge this son of a gun up. We're on Depths 1, so if you'll just excuse me, I'm just thinking it through out loud here. The Emperor card is a really good way for us to get out of Boss Rush. Okay. Will we make it to Boss Rush? Yeah. I mean, Ipecac and Incubus are both absurdly good and only get better by working in conjunction. So I definitely think that if we want to, if we prioritize it, it's not a question of, you know, whether it'll happen, but, you know, how soon it happens. That's a really good payout right there. But we still need... I mean, we don't need to, but I would like to sort out this HP situation. Like, I would... Yikes, I can't believe we didn't get hit. I would like to make it... I would like the judgment to pay out. I guess that's... I was trying to think of a more elegant way to say it, but that is the most elegant way to say it. If we can get the judgment to pay out and get some closure there, we're okay. Yeah. Might be another special room here, too. You never know, like... You know, one of the things I'll admit is that by not exploring as much as I could sometimes, the big thing we miss out on is really, like, potential library access, I think. So library is really, like, one of those rooms where, if you see it, it doesn't guarantee you a win. But if it has Book of Revelations or Satanic Bible in it, it guarantees you a win. Whoa, you shouldn't have taken that. Wait, slow down, mister! There we go. We can't get there. Okay, I can't believe we didn't get any other red hearts. But it is what it is. 9+ messages on Discord, huh? You just gotta check and see, because that was not the case a moment ago. You just gotta check and see, Oh, it's... So, this is not even a bad thing. I'll just tell you what it is. Whenever you see 9+ messages on Discord, you start to freak out. Or at least if you're like me and you got notifications turned off almost everywhere, you're like, what happened? This was just Daniel sending me a list of 12 things in a row. Which is not even like, oh, why would he do that? It's more like, It's just I'm relieved. Let's put it that way. Now, could he have put it all in one message by using Shift Enter? Yes, but we don't need to be like that. We don't need to be nasty, okay? It's mostly because there's, I mean, it's the same 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna get just slightly spiced. We want to get back to 15 cents. The reason we want to is because we might be able to get something here that interests us. We'd rather have Jar of Flies. I think that was worth it, believe it or not. Yeah, I think this is right. Okay. Now, we're probably actually not going to make Boss Rush, but that is because we went through all those hoops back there. Was it worth it? Time will tell, but we're going to win. It's not overconfidence, it's just the way of the world. You can't, look, the speed that I have, just alone. You can't hit me. He's the fastest kid alive. I will say, if we, I mean, we're still going real fast. If we choose our cards right. By the way, Jar of Flies, I'm now realizing, was the absolute right choice. Our flies are going to do 45 damage each. Or no, they're going to do 90 damage each, right? That's obviously better. Forget me now. I wouldn't, honestly. And I think we're actually good to leave this floor. We don't have very much money. So I think this is, everything's actually kind of worked out according to plan. Forget Me Now is really fun, but we are not going to get an item that's even in the ballpark as Jar of Flies in compensation for it. Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect run to also have Succubus. We're looking for Tinted Rocks, didn't see him. So defensive item is out of control, good. I think we definitely just want to take this to give us some extra Spirit Heart action, and then we'll head down. This is a really, really, really good run right now. I got nothing to worry about. I apologize. The metal clinking is probably it's probably an annoying sound, and I think we're happy to hold this trinket. Yeah, why not? At the same time, you do need to hydrate, you know. And by hydrate, I mean caffeinate. But they're both useful in their own way. In fact, in some ways, they're both useful in the same way. I know people, they're of the opinion, and it's not incorrect, but, you know, coffee is a diuretic. A diuretic is something that makes you lose water by, you know, I mean, it promotes, you know, the elimination of nitrogenous waste, let's put it that way. Not to get too technical, but people then take that to believe that, like, if you consume a caffeinated beverage, it means you get, like, more dehydrated or thirstier. Like, caffeine is a diuretic, yes, but a lot of coffee-based beverages, and in particular, like sodas, you know, the amount of caffeine they have relative to the amount of water they have means they're still actually, you know, they're giving you hydration more than they're costing you hydration. Now, there is a widespread belief that if you're thirsty, drinking a soda will make you thirstier. Look, I'm not a scientist in that sense. I'm not a nutritionist. What I would say is that, you know, there's a couple of potential things going on there. One is that it's psychological. You know, maybe because it kind of scratches your throat, it makes you think that your throat's drier despite actually being moister. I don't know. The other thing is that, you know, to some extent, when you consume a sugar-rich product, it kind of tricks your body into thinking like you want to have more of it. So, I mean, I'm not saying those are the reasons. I'm just prognosticating that those could be two potential reasons that explain that scientific phenomenon. On the other hand, I also acknowledge, I'm going to tell you, this is one of the few times we are not going to take Book of Revelations, because I really want to keep Jar of Flies. But I will actually do this. I'll basically trade 1 for 1, Red Heart for Demon Heart, to get to permanent Polaroid invincibility. I will tell you, I'm also open to being proven wrong there. If you got some scientific data that is like, you know, sodas actually do dehydrate you, or, you know, like your average cup of coffee actually does dehydrate you. Love to hear it. I'll admit, a hot cup of coffee, I don't know. That might be a dehydrator. Because and this is anecdotal, but I know one of my friends was, he did what's called woofing, and you know, it's not what you think. Or is it? Which is like, you know, work on organic farms. I forget what everything stands for, but basically it's like a foreign exchange kind of thing, where you go live in another country. By the way, are you seeing the value of Jar of Flies here? You go work in another country, and then, you know, you work on farms, and in exchange for that, you kind of get the cultural experience of living in, you know, Europe or South America, or, you know, you get the idea. Anyway, he was working in South America, I think either in Argentina or Uruguay, and he sent us a message one day and was like, hey guys, just so you know, like, I had to go to the hospital because I was working and I passed out. Everyone was like, whoa, what happened? And he was like, well, I was working in the hot summer sun, and I didn't drink any water all day. All I drank was like 12 cups of coffee. And I was like, yeah, that seems about right. That seems like not the wisest idea, but I don't know if that was the coffee that got him, or if it was that the coffee was still hydrating him, but it wasn't hydrating him as much as a glass of water would hydrate him. And as a result, you know, it didn't keep up with the potentiality for the fluids he was losing due to sweat. But anyway, I don't know why I'm getting so anal about it. I guess because we have to stick with this as our conversation, because the run is going to be over with in 2 seconds anyway. Yeah. So just, yeah, a couple of flies will finish the job for us here. Dude, this is 36 wins in a row. Now, admittedly, you know what I'm about to say probably. We've gotten carried a lot. You know, we've had, I mean, this is the only time I'm like, maybe this is now better than Jar of Flies. Part of the reason is because we've already got enough flies, I think, but... we've had a lot of Ipecacs lately. We've had a lot of Mom's Knives, I suppose. When the street gets desperate, the Mom's Knives come out. Sorry, I lost my Daniel Craig accent. I've been trying to work on... I think it's a character we could use on the NLSS, is the slick Southern lawyer who pretends to be ignorant to the machinations of the law, but it's only to actually make him appear... I'll do it. It's only to make him appear more relatable to the jury. I watch a lot of true crime shows. I've seen the character before in real life. Or on TV, I should say. I'm just a humble Southern lawyer who doesn't understand all this big city tomfoolery. But I ask you, does my client look like a murderer? If no, you must acquit. Now, if you'll excuse me, my wife made me a ham sandwich on white bread for lunch, and I got a mighty hankering. I'm working on it. That was another short one, but for now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future, but for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!